Right, so it's D-Day here in Korea as we move beyond pandemic-related restrictions towards a new normal that urges a safe and sustainable life amid COVID-19. For more, I have Choi Won-jong here in the studio. Welcome back, Won-jong.
Good afternoon.
Right, so let's begin with a reminder about the major changes in place starting on this Monday here in the local front.
Yes, let's begin with the private gatherings now. Take a look at this up on your screen right now. Regardless of their vaccination status in the Greater Seoul area, social gatherings of up to 10 people with 6 of the group fully vaccinated are allowed at restaurants and coffee shops, with up to 12 people allowed in other areas as long as 8 people are fully jabbed. But you need to remember that cafes and restaurants, those who are not vaccinated can only meet in groups of up to 4.
Right, and Won-jong, do tell us again about the operation hours at dining establishments, that is, including cafes here in the country.
Sure. So I'm sure this question, many people are curious about this as well. Take a look at this up on your screen again. In the Greater Seoul area, on the level 4 social distancing, the cafes and restaurants had to close by 10 p.m. starting Monday. Those limits have been lifted so they can operate around the clock. But for those considered as a high-risk facility, such as clubs and a few types of bars, they can stay open until midnight.
Right, and speaking about high-risk venues, Won-jong, proof of vaccination or a negative PCR test need to be shown there, right?
Right, the so-called vaccine pass is required when entering places that are exposed to the high risk of COVID-19 exposure. Now, we're talking about singing rooms and saunas and gyms, bars, plus hospitals. Proving your vaccination status is simple through an app called Kuv by using Naver or Kakao or the paper documents issued by the local health centers. Regardless of your vaccination status, you can also show your negative PCR test result taken within the previous 48 hours, but there's a 2-week grace period until the November 14th, so to help the ease of transition process. Also, some exceptions will be provided if you're under 18 years old or unable to get vaccinated due to underlying conditions. There's also some good news for moviegoers and sports fans. If you're fully vaccinated, you're now allowed to eat popcorns and drink at theaters and get chicken and beer at baseball games.
Right, that is good to know. Won-jong, also tell us about the changes within the academic arena.
So there's a gradual transition for schools too. Now, starting November 22nd, the first Monday after the National College entrance exams, in-person learning will resume for all students, including those in college. Now, this is after a year and 8 months since the online classes kicked off in April last year. So it's just a big gap.
Right. Meanwhile, on the vaccination front, as I mentioned, we have more than 75% of the population here fully inoculated. What is the latest there?
Sure. Starting Monday, children aged 12 to 15 in Korea have become eligible to get the Pfizer shot. And according to health officials, around 490,000 children have signed up, which is only 27% of those eligible. The vaccination will start from November 1st until November 27th, and Korea's booster shot program also has started for people with a weakened immune system, including leukemia patients and people who've had organ transplants.
Right. Well, hopefully the vaccination registration rate for those children between 12 and 15 will increase in the coming days. Won-jong, thank you for now, but stay with us for the broader talks.